will be recording. We're going to record this. So let me go ahead and get started. Good morning. My name is Marianne Linder. I am WEFTEC staff on the education front. And in here helping us today, we have Beth Mays. Some of you have been receiving emails from her. She has been around and will be through WEFTEC to help us get over the hump, so to speak. So this is the pre-WEFTEC technical session briefing. This relates just to Monday through Wednesday technical sessions. And this is meant for speakers, moderators, facilitators who are going to be participating in WEFTEC. And we're trying to get you guys ready and so you guys have a great experience. This is being recorded, as I said, and we'll send it out afterwards. Feel free to put questions in the chat. However, I'm going to go through my whole presentation and then come back to questions that weren't answered in it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is questions to ask now. And these questions go both ways for moderators, for anyone, speakers, anyone at WEFTEC. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you know what day and time your session is occurring. At the end of this training, I will log in to the speaker portal just to show you guys some more information and make sure you know. But you can always check right now the online planner and the mobile app. If you go to the Android or the Apple store, just do WEFTEC 24 and it should come up for you. The next question you need to answer is what kind of session you have. Do you have a traditional or an interactive? I'm going to get into a little detail on the interactive, but this will guide you in how long your presentation it needs to be, what other activities you might need to prepare for. As a speaker, you want to make sure you have your moderator, facilitator's contact information. That is found in the speaker portal, and we do have a training online about that, though again, I will go over it. And the next big one is my information updated? Whatever is in the speaker portal is what's going to go to the mobile app and online planner. So you need to make sure that that is updated and a little bit more detail on that. You want to make sure that your company name is as your company would want it presented, or even in there, because there are several people that don't have any company. So I may have put WEF in my short contact info, but maybe WEF wants me known as the Water Environment Federation. It's upon you to go in and change it in the speaker portal. We're asking that everyone, moderators, facilitators, and speakers, make sure there's a cell phone number so you guys can contact each other on site. You can make sure that your bio and photo are in the system. However, if this was not in there by August 1st, we did not print them. We print bios that we have by August 1st and give them to the moderators and facilitators. So if you didn't get it in by August 1st or your speaker is changing out, please just bring a hard copy with you. I do not have a printer to print them on site. So again, just write it down or bring a printed copy. And then this is really critical. All changes must be made by September 25th. After that date, nothing will get changed in the mobile app. So if you want something to appear a certain way, you need to switch out your speaker and you want them acknowledged by the 25th, or it's just not going to happen. So I kind of want to take you guys on a journey today, and we are going to start with what you should be doing now through WEFTEC. And we're going to go ahead and start for moderators and facilitators. What should you be doing now? You need to make sure you've had a call with your entire session. Ideally, this has already happened, but if it hasn't, please set it up. Also, please note that you are welcome on site to set up a time to meet with your speakers and a day. You can use La Nouvelle Ballroom, which is the speaker prep room. We have tables and you guys can come in and meet there. That is completely up to you as individual moderators and facilitators if you want to do that, but we do have space for it. You need to make sure that you understand your session agenda. Make sure your speakers know how long they have to speak. It would be terrible if they assume they have 20 minutes, but reality they have 10. So please work with them. At this point, it's really, the mobile app online planner is great for seeing your agenda and the time breakout. If you have an interactive session, it is listed as such, and we tell you how long each activity is. So if you can stick to that, that would be great. We are also asking you to ensure minimal replication of information between speakers. So you can look at your speakers' presentations. I'll show you how. You get there from the speaker portal and just take a peek. Make sure that they're not repeating and repetitious. And then if you have problems reaching out to your speakers, please reach out to me or speakers@wef.org, and we will try to help you connect with the speaker. Speaker, in case you haven't noticed, if your moderator contacts you, we really expect you to be kind and get back to them and help them out. They're doing alliance work, and so we need your help in supporting our moderators and facilitators. This communication is a two-way street. Speakers, if you haven't heard from your moderator or facilitator, please reach out to them. Their contact information is in the speaker portal. You also need to take a look at the agenda. You should know how long you have to speak and maybe if you have to contribute towards any interactive activities. And then this last one, as you approach your session, I encourage you to think of yourself as a facilitator of learning. You are not just there to speak, but people want to engage and pick your brain. A lot of changes have been in the works, but I think one of the biggest post-COVID is people can find content in many ways, many places. They can sit and watch a presentation from their computer. What they can't get is your brain and that live, active kind of time with you. So think of yourself as a facilitator of learning. So this goes mostly to speakers, but it's now also time to begin working on your presentation. In the speaker portal, we do have a template available. The template is not required, but it is encouraged. Up to you what you do. Review your learning objectives for the overall session. You want to think about how you can contribute to that. It's available in the mobile app, online planner, and the speaker portal. And you want to make sure that you've really distilled your message down. Remember, when it comes to PowerPoint, less is more. People are there to hear you, not see 101 slides. And then you want to upload your presentation. Even a draft is helpful for the moderators and facilitators so they know where you're heading with this. You can upload as many drafts as you need. A few presentation tips. Less text, please. You want to make sure some of these rooms are large. You want to make sure that people can see from the back. It is a personal pet peeve when a speaker gets up front and says, I know you can't see this. Then the question should be, why did you put it on the screen? You shouldn't. Everything needs to be visible from the back of the room. Use a font that's large and Common Sans Serif. And you really want to blend the data and the narrative. People remember stories, not facts. And so help create that. Use images where possible. I really want to stress this, that you are why people are interested, your story. Play up that, really draw them in, make a compelling case. Don't just get up there and read your slides as if you didn't even need to be in the room, as if an AI bot could just read what's on your slides. Let that kind of become really a part of what you're sharing, an engagement. A note, company logos on the first and last slide only, please. So I mentioned we have traditional and interactive sessions. Traditional sessions run speaker, speaker, speaker. And if you look in the mobile app, it'll say 30 minutes for the speaker. It's not 30 minutes for the presentation. It's 18 to 20, and then a few minutes of Q&A and introduction. 30 is like the whole package. But then we have about 50% running as interactive sessions. We have a limited number of formats. We have things like conversation input, panel discussions. I've done a training on the interactive sessions. I encourage you to go and watch it on weftec.org under I Am Presenting tab. But you want to go in and confirm which your engagement activity is. Speakers and moderators, facilitators, or just facilitators at this point. You really want to know what's going on. At this point, we are asking you not to change the format. If you've got a conversation input, keep with it. If you've got a case study analysis, keep with it. At this late date, we don't do adjustments. And attendees are expecting to receive certain information in certain time flow. So you can do this in advance and get ready and do it. Make sure if you are the speaker that you include whatever activities. Some of them you may need to provide thought-provoking questions after. That's a part of getting ready, and you'll know based upon the description and the training what you need to do. And don't think of these engagement activities as just Q&A one way. If you have an interactive session, Q&A does not count. We want really discussion between the speakers and the audience, and then among the audience. We want to bring everyone in to that format. If you have any questions on that, you can feel free to email me, and I'm happy to walk you through kind of some structural points. So now that you've prepped, it's the big day. You're arriving to New Orleans, and we're really excited to meet and greet you. The home base for the education program is the speaker prep room, La Nouvelle Ballroom C. So when you arrive at WEFTEC, you're going to go check in with us in the speaker prep room. Moderators and facilitators, one of you from each session needs to check out a session folder. The folder includes time cards. It includes instructions with reminders about what to make in terms of announcements, and it includes the ever important session eval that we will need back. New this year, and I do want to say this is new for anyone who has presented before, speakers, you are going to come in, feel free to say hi to us staff, and then you're just going to head over to the computers provided and upload your final PowerPoint or just check it out. You are no longer going to sign your name or check or highlight. The big boards are gone this year. We are not doing that. Trying to get a little bit more modern here. The way that your moderator facilitator knows that you're committed and you're coming is you have uploaded a draft. And ideally, when you're finalized, you upload, it says final version. And this will let your moderator know, plus the cell phone, and you all have been communicating. I want to say this goes for moderators, facilitators, speakers. La Nouvelle has tables, seats. You're welcome just to come and take your few minutes just to have yourself or a meeting if you need in there. I can't guarantee space, but usually we have plenty. But this is the place for you to rest and relax. A little note about the presentation upload. Again, there's a whole bunch of computers in there, and we really encourage, even if you've uploaded before your final, come in there and just look at it. Make sure you're satisfied with the way it's going to play on the computers. Moderators and facilitators, assistants, whatever role, you all have access to the system. You can look at it now, and you can come on site and confirm everything is in there. So after you've done that, maybe you have a day, maybe you have a couple hours, whatever it is, it's time for your session. Make sure you arrive 15 to 20 minutes early. Get familiar with the layout. I will say this up front, most every session, except for a handful, are set as theater. This should not impact your discussion. If you have interaction, you do not need to be set in rounds to get engagement going among the audience. On the facilitator training, interactive session training, I covered that. So you can go back there and see how we suggest. We would love if moderators, facilitators, speakers could greet people and welcome them as they come into the sessions. It just makes for a much better feeling and gives everyone, especially if you have interactive, that kind of warmth and sets the stage. If you have any session materials, you could hand them out at this point. One other, so some note of what to do. We ask that everyone stays in the session the whole 60 or 90 minutes. Please don't just speak and then leave the room. That's really not what we want. Also, make sure you're on time. Please don't go over your presentation time. That cuts other people's and they've worked hard. And so we want everyone to stay on time. If you get a question that is requiring a very long answer, we suggest that you ask the attendee to meet you after the session or provide your contact information. You don't want a question that's going to take up 10 minutes. You can say, that's a great question. How about you and I connect after the session and do that? Some reminders for the speakers when it comes time to your presentation. Reintroduce yourself. You don't need a long bio, but just say, hi, I'm Marianne Linder with the Water Environment Federation. Feel free to remind attendees that your paper is available in the conference proceedings. That will be emailed to those who receive it ahead of time. Be open to questions from the audience and engaging with them. It would be terrific if you provided your contact information on the last slide. Not required, but encouraged. And then as you're done, thank your moderator or facilitator. Session level reminders. So for our moderators and facilitators, if you have a Monday session in particular, or maybe just a hot topic, your room is liable to get very full. We ask that you go up to the front and tell people, please move your bag, make room for your neighbor, and fill every chair. In these convention centers, people are not allowed to stand or fill in the aisles in the back. When a session is full, it'll become one person out, one person in. So you're going to need to manage asking people to sit next to each other. A really great thing that we're asking you to do is reiterate and summarize the major learning points. You can do that at the end of the session, kind of summarize very briefly what each speaker said, but one area that we need to improve on for WEFTEC is key takeaways and making sure that people know, oh, this was the main thing I learned from this. Make sure you thank at the end of the session everyone for coming. And then lastly, and most critically, please complete the session evaluation form. I need one from the moderator, and if there is an assistant moderator, please have them also fill it out and return it in the packet. Some helpful information. Attire is business or business casual, up to you. Make sure you bring business cards and a water bottle. We will have water stations. Register in advance. On site, the lines can get really long and you don't want to be stuck doing that. If you've registered in advance, we have satellite badge pickups. And a reminder, expo only is not allowed into the technical sessions. You need to register as exhibitor, if that's your category, or full conference. And then really stop by registration to pick up your badge before you come to speaker prep. And then I wanted to slide on what's new. I know many of you have been here many years. So let's go over this. CEUs, new this year, technical sessions will have self-scanning iPads. There will still be a temp outside there this year, but people will bring their badge up and they'll scan it themselves. It's no longer going to be the little handhelds. So I just wanted to let you all know so you're not surprised. The on-site guide is much smaller. There is a digital version available and then the mobile app. The mobile app has detailed agendas for each session, and then it has access to all WEFTEC events. So now that your session's over, you know I'm going to make this plea again because every year I have some moderators and facilitators who don't bring me their session folder back, but we really need that with the eval form. So on that, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to answer some questions, and then I'll go into the speaker portal for you. So let me go into my chat. There's a question about access to the speaker's paper. Yes, I will actually show you where to get it once we get in the speaker portal. How long each presentation has is a question. If you have a traditional technical session, your actual presentation should be 18 to 20 minutes because you need to leave time for Q&A and you need to leave time for your introduction. If you have an interactive session, you need to look at the mobile app and figure out how long your presentation is. The previous speaker orientation session referred to adding questions to stimulate. That depends on your format. So if you have an interactive session with, say, a facilitated discussion, yeah, it would be great as a speaker if you were ready with a couple questions. Maybe the audience has some and it gets going and you're okay, but it's better to be ready. And it's best if the speaker works with the facilitator together. If you have a conversation and input session, it is expected that the speaker will have the stimulating question that's based out of their presentation and have that ready. And I'll show you guys how to find what kind of session you have. There is a question about videos. I will say we do not have sound patches. So you can try a video. Some people play it loud, but there's limits to that, right? Just as much as we ask that moderators repeat questions, the video may be a little bit not working great without the sound. And I recommend highly, if you have a video, that you come to the presentation computers ahead of time in La Nouvelle Ballroom C and make sure that it works correctly as you want it. So I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to just reshare my screen so that you all can we can go into the speaker portal a little bit. So I'm sorry, you guys are going to have to bear with me while I log in and then I go impersonate someone. All right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to impersonate. This way you guys can see what. So you have the link that Beth put in the chat for you. You click on it and it takes you to this site and you would log in. When you come in, this is your contact information. You can hit edit contact information. And this is where you would come in, update your company to be whatever you would like, and add your mobile phone, please. Then you hit dashboard. There are a couple features I want to make sure you guys know. If you need to change out who is speaking, you go to edit speaker. Couple notes on this. Never remove yourself until you've added the other speaker. If you remove yourself before you add the other speaker, your presentation just disappears from you and you won't be able to do anything else. So always add the other speaker and then remove yourself. Inevitably, we get the questions, how many speakers? I really recommend no more than 2 speakers per presentation, especially if you have an interactive presentation. You're probably at 10 minutes and 3 people, that's a lot of transition time. So really try to keep it to 2 probably. You can acknowledge people from the podium and say, thank you for your work in getting this there, but 1. So everything you guys need right now is in speaker portal. Click this. And a couple things. There's all the documentation interactive session guidance, highly recommend it. Down here is your workshop template, which shouldn't be many of you, and your technical session template. This is where you're going to get it. And when you have a draft, you go click here to upload and view your presentation. Moderators, assistant moderators, facilitators, and assistant facilitators get access to see the full session and check those out. So everything else I'm going to show you is built off of the session. So if you want to get contact information, if you want to see presentations, you are going to come and click the event title. As you can see, we tell you what kind of session it is, and we give you the room number and location. So click this. I'm going to have to reshare my screen. Bear with me because it requires that. Let's do a stop share, and then I'm going to reshare. Here we go. This should share now. Okay, so now you can see. If you come in here and you want to get someone's contact information, you click their name. Do not use the contact me. That opens up an email within their system. But by clicking their name, you will get access to their email and phone numbers as they put them in. There was a question about papers. Yep, this is where you guys are going to get them. If you want to see a paper versus a presentation, you click the title. And then, hopefully you guys can still see this, it has presentation. You click that. That will open up a window with the paper. That's where it's kind of hidden. I'm going to go back. I also want to say, yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to reshare my screen one more time. When you click on the session, you also get the session description and learning objectives. All of that is also found in the app. I personally find in the app, in the online planner, it's a little bit easier to see your agenda. But this has everything as well for you guys. So on that note, I'm going to stop sharing and see if there are any other questions. There is a great question. In a traditional technical session, can we start off our presentation with thoughts, questions to consider during the PowerPoint? Oh, golly, yes. I love that idea. That is terrific. Help people understand right from the get-go what they need to be thinking about, what they need to be conceptualizing. I think that's a terrific idea. I have no problem with that, and I highly encourage that. If there are any other questions, go ahead and type them. Otherwise, please know you can email speakers@wef.org, and we are here. Our time to respond is a little bit slower right now, so please bear with us. We will be on site. Speaker briefing or speaker prep room, as it's known, is open beginning Saturday at 8 a.m. Each day it opens at 8 a.m. and it closes a little bit after the sessions. Please do not plan to work in there until like 6 o'clock at night. It will be closed. So I think that is it. We another question just popped in. I'm going to do one more. I update my name in my speaker portal, my go by name versus legal name. I would reach out, and will this be updated on speaker introductions? We printed everything August 1st. If you updated anything after August 1st, you just need to directly connect with your moderator facilitator. At this point, that is my best advice. Oh, speaking of things, before I forget, one important note. We do not have a way for you to easily see your PowerPoint notes. I recommend that you print those back at home before you come. I do not have a printer to print in the speaker prep room to print everyone's notes page. So you can either do it in advance, or there is a UPS store in the convention center. But if you want your notes, I would bring them ahead of time, print them out, and bring them to the convention. So I think that's it. We're here to help you guys, and we are eternally grateful for all you do for WEF and the water community. We are super excited to greet you in a few weeks, and good luck on final preparations, and see you in New Orleans. Thank you.